With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. In California, a man is accused of bringing a bomb to the Sacramento International Airport.
Authorities say he was wearing a scarf, latex gloves, and had an explosive device and a torch lighter in his carry-on bag. He also had a knife, scissors, an aerosol can, zip ties, and 5 cell phones. One with a timer set for 15 minutes. Another with a message saying, "We will be awaiting your call." Authorities say that if the device had detonated next to a window above 10,000 feet, could have caused damage and loss of cabin pressure. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
There was a major security incident at Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The NBA banned 2 people for life from its arenas after one of them was arrested shortly after running onto the court during Game 1 of the NBA Finals and appearing to take a selfie next to Victor Wembanyama. The San Antonio Spurs did not appear bothered by the incident, which occurred during the 4th quarter of Game 1 between the Spurs and the New York Knicks. The NBA didn't disclose what role the second banned person, who didn't run the court, played in the incident. The game was stopped for 1 minute and 29 seconds before it resumed with a jump ball. I'm Hayat.
On social and political issues, then stop listening now. Otherwise, stay right here for real issues, real facts with real people.
His name is Joe.
Instead of fighting with these people, what I do is I throw stats at them. Let them go with it.
The Adventures of Joe.
But I've actually even got to the point now when somebody starts arguing with me, prove your facts. I go, now.
All right, what do you say, Joe? What do you say to that?
You didn't prove yours. Mine you can find at the CDC or on the FBI website. You need to do your own homework. Because when you spoon feed them, even when you do that, they tell you you're wrong, even though they have nothing to back it up with. Just like AOC, nothing.
I'm going to deal with topics and issues that will make you think. The lines are open. You can reach me at 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563.
It's the Joe Messina Show.
We are back at it again. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE. 855-732-5563. Look, get involved. Get engaged. And be part of the solution. Right? So you're not part of the problem. We don't want you part of the problem. Anyway, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution, as I always say. And you do that by getting informed. I very much appreciate it when you get informed. You know, that way there we can actually have an intelligent conversation. God forbid, but we should have an intelligent conversation. So I do so much appreciate your time. All right, going to run through some of these. Some of these. So some of these stories are just driving me nuts. And the only reason they're driving me nuts is because I've been trying to get to them. It never seems to come up just right, you know. All right, well, here's what is kind of, I don't know, you want to call it odd, awkward, not one that we usually do or see happen. So right now, the Pentagon drops 180 faiths from the military's recognized religious lists. The Department of War has officially removed these faiths from its list of recognized religions, acting on a change previously announced by War Secretary Pete Hegseth. Now, the U.S. Military Chaplain Corps previously recognized over 200 faith codes. Right? These service members, now some of them, my understanding, could claim affiliation with any one of those, and now just sits at 31. So, and you know, the funny thing about this is that the courts, for, you know, legal reasons, they don't acknowledge, you know, as a way to talk about it from a religious standpoint, they don't acknowledge all of those religious beliefs. So the U.S. Military Chaplain Corps previously recognized over 200 faith codes that service members could claim affiliation with. We're now at 31. The Undersecretary of Defense, Anthony Tata, you know, he came out with the list. Tata's memo says the change will streamline the DOW collection of religious preferences for service members to enhance the delivery of targeted religious support from the chaplains. The new list will provide, under Obama, God bless, I can't believe this is a real story. Under Obama, they allowed, you ready for this? Atheist chaplains. What is an atheist chaplain? Can somebody help me out here? What are you administering? What kind of faith are you administering to an atheist? As he's there dying, do you say, don't worry about it, it's cool, you're going to be warm food soon, everything's good? I mean, seriously. So, it made absolutely no sense, but they thought it did. And it's a mockery. They're proving they really don't know what you are and what you stand for. The new list will provide chaplains with clear, readily available information that will better enable them to anticipate the religious support needs for service members and to provide religious support activities that align with service members. And they're just trying to make it real. No more of these jokes. No more of these joke religions that were created or done to mock major religions. In a lot of ways, that's what happened. Now, the new list does include agnostics, Buddhists, Hindus, Islam or Muslims, Judaism, Sikh, and a wide range of Christian-based groups like Baptists, Catholics, Lutherans, and Methodists. Even as a Christian who's not a Catholic, and I'm not a Baptist, and I'm not a Lutheran, those were all, I guess, subgroups. I can receive from any one of those because any one of those chaplains are going to have Christ at the center, and that's what I'm as a Christian. That's who's at my center. They have a little different nuances, whatever. Not a hill I'm going to die on. The previous system had ballooned to well over 200 faith codes. It was impacted, unusable. Many codes were never used at all. How they get in there, God only knows. No, because somebody in the Obama and or Biden administration went, okay, hey, just go ahead and Google them all and put them all in there. He went on to note that the vast majority of military members fit under just 6 of the faith codes. Alongside that change, the Pentagon also directed servicing chaplains to replace their rank insignia with their religious insignia. That's not a bad idea. A chaplain is first and foremost a chaplain, an officer second. This changes the visual representation of that fact, Hegg said. Which is, it's true of Christian men, Christian women. I can't speak for the Jewish population or any other ones because I'm not in it. So I'm not going to speak for it. But as a Christian, I am a Christian first who happens to be a male, who happens to be white, who happens to live in the U.S. It's really that simple. It doesn't, you don't even need a college degree to work through this. And chaplains have a specific role. They're specifically unique in what they do. Right? They're first and foremost, they believe themselves to be called by God and ordained by God to help people out. Now they'll retain their rank as an officer, but he said it won't be visible. And maybe I'm served in the military. They wouldn't take me. They're smart people. But when you look at that, and maybe some people might be, intimidated by it. The rank, that is, right? So I'm not there. You're not there. Let's keep it so our men and women feel comfortable as they come in. All right. Joe Messina, your host. Don't go far. A lot more coming up after the break.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you could save on motorcycle insurance with Progressive. Come on, you've spent more time than that trying to name your bike.
How about the Crusher? I guess it's not really crushing anything. The Silver Bolt? No. Oh, what about Pepper? Mysterious. Is it a pet or a condiment? Surprise! It's a motorcycle. No, that's stupid.
Get a quote in as little as 3 minutes at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'd like to introduce you to our new sponsor, Get the Tea. Get the Tea carries all natural, non-GMO organic teas and supplements made in the USA. Get the Tea's ingredients are the purest available. My favorite is Life Change Tea. Life Change Tea is a gentle daily cleanse containing 12 herbs that when combined really keep things moving. I drink it every day and my energy has never been better. I'm feeling great. Life Change Tea comes in 3 delicious flavors, natural, peppermint, and pomegranate. It's an easy and delicious way to keep your digestion on track. And for those on the go, try D365. D365 is Life Change Tea in a capsule. Drink the tea or take D365 capsules and keep your digestion running smoothly. Go to getthetea.com and enter discount code USA to get 10% off any size order. That's getthetea.com, discount code USA for 10% off your order.
When I started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, with the help of my dedicated employees, we now have hundreds of products, some you might not even know about. To get the word out, we're having a $25 extravaganza. 2-pack multi-use MyPillows, $25. MyPillow sandals, $25. And for the first time ever, our 6-pack towel sets, you guessed it, just $25. Our brand new 4-pack dish towels, $25. And I've never done this before. Premium MyPillows with all new Giza fabric, any size, any loft level, even king size for only $25. And there's so much more.
So go to MyPillow.com or call 800-923-1812 and use promo code AUDIO1 to get the standard MyPillow for only $14.88, the lowest price ever.
Okay, I'm talking funny because I'm in the witness protection program. I have too much credit card debt and I don't want people to find me.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about credit card debt. Right, those plastic things that we all have in our wallet. Are you in your 50s or 60s and you're still carrying around a mound of credit card debt? Wouldn't it be nice to start banking that money and save a little money for retirement down the road? We help people restructure their credit card debt all the time. We show people how they can get out of credit card debt in months, not years. Listen, you'll be carrying around credit card debt for the rest of your life unless you deal with it right now. We offer a free consultation so you can learn how you can finally wipe out your credit card debt and start saving money. Give us a free call right now.
Call Debt Solutions Network now. 866-451-3328. 866-451-3328. That's 866-451-3328.
If you're a diabetic, we have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you test and inject daily, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-471-7065. 800-471-7065. 800-471-7065. That's 800-471-7065.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-362-9337. 800-362-9337. That's 800-362-9337.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
You know this man. Go ahead. Make my day.
We are back. Come on. Some of you heard that song before. Don't give me that. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Look, get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution. Love it when you are. Love it when you're involved. Love it when you're engaged. Love it when you're with me. Really, seriously. I do appreciate it very much when you're here with us on the air and in the chat room and texting and tweeting and just truly being part of the conversation. All right. Oh, and I got a bunch of stories. I'm good. So John Bolton pleaded guilty today. Remember this guy? Huh? Talking smack about the president and all the things he did wrong, and he should go to jail and yada, yada, yada. And Bolton said he never did anything wrong. Well, former National Secretary Advisor John Bolton is set to plead guilty to mishandling classified materials. CNN reported Thursday, citing anonymous sources, Bolton had agreed to pay a fine of more than $2 million. God, where did he get the money? You know what I'm saying? Bolton has agreed to pay a fine of more than $2 million and will plead guilty to a single count of illegal retention of sensitive national security documents. It's one of CNN's three sources. They told the outlet on this count, Bolton can face a prison sentence of up to 60 months. And in October 2025, a federal grand jury indicted Bolton on 18 counts connected to former Trump administration's official alleged mishandling of classified information. Bolton, widely known as a proponent of hawkish foreign policy, he served as President Donald Trump's national secretary chief from April 2018 to September 2019 before prominently falling out with the Trump administration and becoming a notable detractor of the president. Now, all content, that I throw at you, I try to make sure that what I give you is real and true. Some of it is stuff that you sent me. I mean, really. So let's make sure what you sent me is true. Yeah, I know. I've been told by one of the stations that I need to do a disclaimer. I'll eventually get to that. Seriously. 855 Real Joe. 855. I know. You know what? I don't break the rules on purpose. Seriously. Well, let's. Okay, you know John Bolton's voice, right? I don't have to preface with this is John Bolton. Take a listen to what he said.
Former National Security Advisor John Bolton plans to plead guilty to one charge of mishandling sensitive national security documents. Bolton is accused of keeping diary entries in his home that document the year he served under President Trump in his first term. Prosecutors also said Bolton used a personal email to share files with his family. That came after the FBI opened a probe after suspected Iranian hackers got access to the account. Bolton has reportedly agreed to pay a more than $2 million fine and could face up to 5 years in prison.
So here's what I love about this. All right. He did nothing wrong. He says he did nothing wrong. He claims this is what President Trump did. Nothing happened to him, right? We know this is what Joe Biden did. And the news, now check this out. So the news sources are saying this is retribution, and Trump is paying retribution to those who tried to take him out. So I'm going to sit there and say to you, all right, if it was retribution, then he'd be doing what Obama and Biden did, trying to bend the law, break the law, do all kinds of things with the law to get you put in jail. But that's not what happened. Bolton pleaded guilty. He pleaded guilty. You know why? Because he knew he was guilty. Can we just do that without playing that game? Really, really very simple. So when I look at this and I listen to those, well, he's just going after his enemies, then he shouldn't have pleaded guilty. That's number one. Right? If he truly didn't break the law and he didn't do anything wrong, Bolton's not a stupid man. Arrogant, yeah. Stupid, no. He should have fought it. 855 Real Joe. 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution. You should actually, you know what? Not just my listeners, you should all be part of the solution, all of you. So be part of the solution. All right, this one kind of breaks your heart a little bit. Seriously, six GOP senators voted with Democrats to support a proposal sponsored by Senator Jeff Merkley, a Democrat out of Oregon, to block the construction of President Trump's 90,000 square foot White House ballroom. Right? They want them to, they wanted him to get authorization through Congress. For what, though? So the amendment would have given Congress sole authority to construct a new ballroom and would have barred any federal funds or private donations from being used to build a new ballroom without congressional approval. Right, because we want those boneheads who know nothing about construction, know nothing about building anything. We want them in charge of building something, right? These were the same guys that gave away $32 million to have the reflection pool fixed. It didn't get fixed. They still paid for it. These are the people we want in charge? Really? And 6 Republicans voted with Democrats to waive a procedural objection to the amendment. Senator Susan Collins, well, I won't name them all. You can figure out who they are. The amendment, which was proposed during a vote-a-rama on Republican reconciliation bill to fund immigration enforcement, needed 60 votes to overcome a point of order objection. It failed. 52-47. Now, Collins, Huss, and Sullivan face tough re-election races this fall. This is not going to help them. A new Fox News poll of over 1,000 registered voters in Ohio conducted between May 28th and June 1 showed Husted trailing former Senator Sherrod Brown in the Ohio state race. A new UMass Lowell YouGov poll of 650 likely Maine voters conducted from May 13th to May 26th found Democrat candidate Graham Plattner leading Collins. Well, that was until today. An Alaska Survey Research poll of 1,283 registered voters conducted in March found Democrat Mary Petola leading Sullivan in Alaska's Senate race. And Senate Republicans, they stripped a provision to provide up to $1 billion in federal funding for the ballroom from a revised text. Yeah, I wasn't aware that they were putting, but in the grand scheme of things, with the amount of money we're spending and what we're blowing money on and sending billions of dollars to Ukraine for God knows what reason, yeah, we need it. We need a ballroom. I'm not being funny. We need a ballroom. We need a more fancy place when we have state events. Joe Messina, your host. Don't go anywhere. A lot more coming up after the break. You're listening to the Joe Messina Show.
Attention homeowners. It's not if something's going to break, it's when. That's home ownership. If your dryer, your refrigerator, or your AC and heating breaks, that's an expensive call. And who do you call? Make it easy on yourself and call Choice Home Warranty. We've already done the research and have access to 25,000 technicians that can be at your home quickly. We've covered close to 2 million homes in the United States. There's a good chance your neighbors work with us. Call us right now before the next breakdown. We'll tell you everything that's covered in your home and give you the first month free with our ironclad 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and learn how to get your free month.
800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. That's 800-378-2250.
Limitations and exclusions apply. First month free with purchase of single plan. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for more details.
Life is full of surprises. Some wonderful, some not so much. But here's one thing you can control: making sure your loved ones are protected if the unexpected happens. At easyplans.com, we make getting life insurance, well, easy. In just a few minutes, you can apply online and buy direct. No awkward phone calls, no confusing jargon, and no agent will contact you unless you request help. Just clear, affordable coverage, designed to fit your life and your budget. Fast approval, flexible plans, and unlike other online insurance sites, Easy Plans won't sell your information to others. so no endless phone calls and text messages. Whether you're just starting a family, buying a home, or thinking ahead, EasyPlans.com has you covered. EasyPlans.com. We make buying life insurance, well, easy.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. In California, a man is accused of bringing a bomb to the Sacramento International Airport.
Authorities say he was wearing a scarf, latex gloves, and had an explosive device and a torch lighter in his carry-on bag. He also had a knife, scissors, an aerosol can, zip ties, and 5 cell phones. One with a timer set for 15 minutes. Another with a message saying, "We will be awaiting your call." Authorities say that if the device had detonated next to a window above 10,000 feet, could have caused damage and loss of cabin pressure. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
There was a major security incident at Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
The NBA banned 2 people for life from its arenas after one of them was arrested shortly after running onto the court during Game 1 of the NBA Finals and appearing to take a selfie next to Victor Wembanyama. The San Antonio Spurs did not appear bothered by the incident, which occurred during the 4th quarter of Game 1 between the Spurs and the New York Knicks. The NBA didn't disclose what role the second banned person, who didn't run the court, played in the incident. The game was stopped for 1 minute and 29 seconds before it resumed with a jump ball. I'm Haya Panjwani.
American Airlines is temporarily suspending some of its routes this summer.
It's because steep jet fuel costs continue to strain carriers' budgets amid the war with Iran. In a statement, American said it had adjusted service for select routes in August and September, and that impacted travelers would be offered alternative arrangements or refunds. American said the changes were in line with wider industry trends.
Correspondent Bill Alexander reporting. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 874 points. The Nasdaq Composite Index dropped by 23, with the S&P 500 advancing by 30 points. Oil at $92 a barrel. This is SRN News. A milestone for One Christian Ministry.
Wycliffe Bible Translators reports completing its 800th translation of the Scriptures. Wycliffe spokesman James Poole tells Christian Today, quote, "This is an extraordinary time for..."
We're back at it again. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. Get out of my way. 855-REAL-SHOW, 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution. That's the way I love it. The way it should be, anyhow. And I do appreciate the time you're spending with me here on the air, in the chat room, texting and tweeting and being part of the conversation, part of the solution. All right, so talking a little bit about the what's going on. You know, the Senate, come on, Messina, you knew this when he came in here. The GOP senators that voted with the Democrats to stop the building of the ballroom, which is totally asinine. Totally stupid and asinine. You know, I mean, why? Because we don't need that? No, we'd rather send the money to Ukraine so they can blow it and they can buy mansions and they can put money in all kinds of stuff. Yeah, okay, that's great. When you see all the money that's been blown on things we didn't need, and it was basically stolen from the American people, I guess that's okay. I don't know. Whatever. That's the one that's getting really old. Right? What the heck? So, the perfect example. Just a perfect example. This is great. The House has barred Representative Max Miller after remarks on Rashida Tlaib. So there was lots of argument on the floor. Representative Max Miller accused Representative Rashida Tlaib of supporting Hezbollah during debate on her Lebanon resolution. People started making noise right away. We've got video of her calling for the destruction of the American government. She's an elected American official. So the decorum rules are much more enforceable than treason rules, apparently. The presiding officer struck Miller's words from the record and barred him from speaking for the rest of the day, violating House decorum. Now, underlying policy dispute that the Tlaib's resolution seeks to withdraw U.S. forces from Lebanon, citing civilian casualties and displacement amid the conflict. So it's our fault. Never the enemy's fault. It's always our fault. Right? And he triggers her by calling her out on what she's saying. I couldn't play her video because there were too many swear words in it. But in the video, she actually does say that the government needs to be taken down. This government needs to be overthrown. Right? So I don't even know where to go. They're so dull. I don't even know where to go with this, right? And then you got, oh, never mind. I've already done stories around that 115 times. The voter count, just ridiculous, totally asinine. Especially here in California. Other states already got their they've already got their information. Just amazing. And right now, the way it looks, Californians may not know which candidate will compete for governor. I don't know, maybe till 2027. They say that 56% of the vote has been counted. Nobody, including the AP, is calling Tuesday's primary. Now, things are looking good for Steve Hilton, but man, we've seen this before. Right? A little higher than this now, but I'll go with these numbers. Hilton's 27, Becerra 25. Tom Steyer, 19. I'm amazed at Steyer with all the money he spent. But even the Dems were coming out against him, saying they didn't want anybody buying the race. One reason for the slow pace of California's practice of not processing mail-in ballots until in-person voting counts are counted, which I don't understand at all. The only reason they would do that is to see where we're at in the polls before they start counting the mail-in ballots. And if they don't come in at the right number, the right amount, all of a sudden they find 10,000 ballots somewhere else. Trump again, they're trying to steal the... And listen, if they weren't trying to do something shady, the next state behind us is Texas, and they're done. They've already counted and finished. Why can't we get there? Right? As of election night, there were still 4 million ballots that still needed to be counted. And somebody said, well, that's not a big deal because, where the percentages are laid out, Steyer would have to have a miracle happen for him to beat or catch Hilton or Becerra. Well, we've seen that happen before, haven't we? In L.A., we just saw, 20% of the vote? Not even that. I'm sorry. I apologize. We saw, of 20,000 ballots, we saw 50% go to one Democrat candidate, 50% go to another Democrat candidate, and the Republican candidate did not get one vote out of 20,000 votes cast. Okay, now you're home alone, you can lie, you can tell the truth, nobody's going to hear you, but really, do you really buy that? I don't. I mean, seriously. So, again, just amazing to me how this went down, how this goes down. All right. It never stops. Well, I think this is good news. We'll see. So the Arizona Supreme Court has forced a restart of that fake electors case. So a case reset was ordered. The state Supreme Court upheld lower court rulings, tossing 2024 indictments over withheld legal information, sending the case back to the grand jury. Political stakes rise. The restart could push proceedings into 2027, 2028, overlapping with May's re-election fight, as the GOP rivals pledge to drop the case if elected. Now, national parallels, right? You're looking at similar prosecutions in Michigan and Georgia. They've been dismissed. So why would you keep it going? I mean, why would he restart something that it looks really good that he's going to lose? I mean, seriously. Anyway, I told you, I'm just going to run through these. Get him gone, get him done, right? And Trump is right about them trying to rig the election, if you would. This is not new. They did this the last election cycle, too, or actually the last two. It shouldn't be taking this long to count the votes. Sportscaster Stephen A. Smith says California is sending a warning signal to Democrats nationwide if people in a blue state like California are entertaining seriously about putting Republicans in charge gubernatorially and mayorally. Imagine what the other states in this union are contemplating doing. In other words, what Stephen's saying is if you saw the voting pattern in California, a deep, solid blue state, what do you think is going to happen where you're at? Smiths argued that growing voter frustration in California, a state long considered a Democrat stronghold, should alarm Democrat leaders across the country. Now, many Californians have noticed or they voiced concerns regarding the cost of living, fuel prices, taxes, overall affordability, and been demanding change from political leaders. But they're screaming this is a Trump issue. The reason things are so bad is because of Trump, the way Trump is. What Trump. Yeah, it's a lie. I think people are catching on. Many Californians have voiced concerns regarding the cost of living, fuel prices, taxes, overall affordability, and have begun demanding a change from political leadership. I mean, could you imagine what an indictment that's against Democrats everywhere, he said? California's been a Democratic fortress for decades. They've maintained a majority of state legislators since 1996. You want to know why? You want to know why we're in the mess we're in? No, really, think about it. They've had control of this state for 30 years. We have potholes like never before. We have bridges falling apart. We have dams that aren't being fixed and or rebuilt. We have reservoirs that are empty. I mean, shall I go on? And they won't admit to it, but because of the way they do their bookkeeping. But they got about $180 billion in a deficit here that they're in debt with. As Republican gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton and Los Angeles mayor candidate Spencer Pratt, they're gaining traction. California is shaping up to be closely watched by the Dems to see how these primaries really play out. Be back in a few minutes. Don't go far. A lot more coming up on the Joe Messina Show.
Right now, you can eliminate odors, mold, mildew, bacteria, and viruses in your home with the Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier. The Eden Pure Thunderstorm uses Oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules that seek out and destroy odors. The Thunderstorm doesn't mask or cover up bad smells, it eliminates them, leaving that fresh, clean smell, just like after a thunderstorm. The Thunderstorm is small, plugs right into the wall, and fits in the palm of your hand. Put one in your basement, bedroom, family room, kitchen, or anywhere you want clean, fresh air. It even includes a USB cord for your car or truck. Right now, save $200 on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. That's 3 units for under $200, a fraction of the cost compared to other air purifiers. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code USA3 to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Use USA and the number 3. Shipping is free.
Attention timeshare owners. Tired of the financial stress? Were you misled by the salesperson? Don't or can't use your timeshare anymore? If any of these apply to you, then you may qualify for timeshare cancellation and get the relief you need now. Timeshare Defense Attorneys is the #1 affordable fixed fee legal solution in the country with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. That's certainly better than my grades. They even offer a 100% client satisfaction guarantee. Let one of their experienced lawyers evaluate your case and explain the process. process. If they take you as a client, they'll work on your case until it's resolved in your favor, guaranteed. Expect great service and a close working relationship with your lawyer, keeping you informed every step of the way, protecting your rights, interests, and even your credit. It's that simple. Even a kid like me can understand it. The consultation is free. Call today.
800-875-1853. 800-875-1853. That's 800-875-1853.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. That's 800-871-3291.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-399-4215. 800-399-4215. 800-399-4215. That's 800-399-4215.
Oh, Wednesday's at that very special age when a girl has only one thing on her mind. Boys.
Homicide.
We are back. Oh, I'm back. I don't know about you. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution. It's kind of how you win. Kind of how you win. Most of the time, you can win. And I do appreciate the time. Okay, this is the stuff that makes me nuts. You guys do this to me, what? Get my blood pressure. I have blood pressure. Blood pressure up? Seriously? I find this stuff so amazing. Because, believers, Christian believers anyway, when you do this to them, it just makes them dislike you even more and more. So there's a movement afoot that says, ancient texts tell of a man who may have shared more than faith with Jesus, his very face. Could this be Jesus' long-lost twin? Right? Do we need to rewrite the story of Christianity? Here, let me help you. No, you do not. All right? I'm not going to take any kind of input from a rank unbelieving heathen. And no, they're doing everything they can because they know they can do it online. So they're doing everything they can to make sure that young people are starting to question their faith, or question their faith even more than they did before. Okay? Right? So, and then you get all these other crazy stories. Now, the Islamic view of Jesus, billions of Muslims believe he was never crucified. Well, we know why. If you're paying attention at all, we know why. Anyhow, I just thought you'd get a kick out of that. I mean, really, seriously, Jesus had a twin brother nobody knows about. Okay, after all these years, nobody would have sold that before, right? Well, what you're finding right now in today's environment, you'd never know by some of the news you're hearing. Maybe they're just trying to get us to try to believe it, but I'm seeing it in some of the countries. You know, the gay rights movement started back in the 60s, and until 2022, support for gay marriage, LGBTQ acceptance consistently trended upward. However, the trend is reversed for the first time in more than half a century. Support for same-sex marriage and other LGBTQ issues now trending down. Gallup has been polling Americans on these issues since 1996. At the same time, only 27% said same-sex marriages should be valid. In 2001, when Gallup started asking about morality of same-sex relationships, only 40% said that gay and lesbian relationships were morally acceptable. Remember, that was back in 2001. In 1996, only 27% said same-sex marriages should be valid. Right? Following a consistent upward trend over the next 25 years, both figures peaked in 2022, with 71% saying that same-sex marriages should be valid and that gay and lesbian relations are morally acceptable. Now, there's been only 1 or 2 years through this in which support for same-sex marriage declined by a few percent, always rebounded back. But it's not been the case since 22. Following the high level of support that year, the share of Americans who support same-sex marriage has declined, falling to 65%. Who think that such marriages should be valid, and 62 who think that gay and lesbian relationships are morally acceptable. Support for transgender-related issues has also declined. Gallup started the ask in 21 whether changing one's gender is morally acceptable. 46% said it was. In the latest 26 survey, only 38% said it was morally acceptable. The decline in support, these issues since 2022 have largely come from Republicans, right? And that's interesting too, because I know a lot of, well, whatever. In 2022, 56% of Republicans said that gay and lesbian relations were morally acceptable. In 23, that share dropped to 41 and has since declined to 35. Now, these issues have declined somewhat as well, too, from their peak in 21, with 74% said the same to 64% now. The decline in support comes despite a recent uptick in the number of people who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. Well, that has come from younger people who are being bombarded with this, being told that this is okay and morally, whatever. When Gallup first started asking the question, the vast majority of these people who identified as bisexual, 58% of the LGBT identified as saying they were bisexual, while only 16% said that they were lesbian, 17% said they were gay, 12% said transgender. Remember that Bill Maher did this, and he came out with, what was it? He came out with something along the lines of, there was, since the beginning of COVID, there was a 1,500% increase in transgenderism. Like, hello, anybody home? Most of the increase comes from, there we go, younger age demographics. Right? At 65, just under 3% identify as LGBTQ+. 18 to 29, it pops up to 25%. So, again, they're very easily manipulated. They're very easily influenced. Right? So, and then I love these people who try to nail us on this stuff. I'll put it this way. And banning transgender, according to The Hill, banning transgender athletes has never been about protecting women. Never. Now, this is them, not me, okay? The power politicians have over women's bodies is one of the oldest tools to control American history. Throughout that history, the promise of protecting women has been a long-time excuse for excluding women. Isn't that funny? Because the women are feeling excluded, and who's allowing all this to happen? The Democrats. Right? The Supreme Court's going to decide Little versus Heckox and West Virginia versus BPJ, legal cases out of Idaho and West Virginia that will determine whether transgender athletes will be allowed to compete in women's sports. Idaho's Attorney General has argued that the bans ensure women's spaces in sports remain fair, safe, and dedicated. In other words, that we must allow politicians to pass bans to protect women. Right? I hope that needs to come down any day now. It shouldn't even have to be. It shouldn't even be a court thing, okay? How do you like that? I mean, seriously. Never stops. Another Democrat that wants to flip a red seat is apologizing for being white. Don't you love it? Just amazing. So, I don't know. Whatever. They got these kids. So being white is bad. So how you're born, we heard for decades and for years that the color of your skin wasn't a choice. You know, when myself and my cousins, if I started doing it now, I looked black. When I was a kid, we went to the beach all the time. I mean, all the time. During the summer, I got pictures of it. We looked black. And we played on the beach all day long. So, do I get to say I'm black? This is so asinine. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE. Send me an email, joe@joemessina.com. Right? joe@joemessina.com. This is so much to talk about, so much to deal with. And you should hear all this. No, I don't want to do that one. That story's boring. There's a Dem candidate hoping to flip a red seat. As she was giving her speech, she apologized for being white. God bless America. I wish I was there. Democrat Iowa Congressman nominee Lindsey James once apologized for being white on her campaign website. James, who was trying to flip Iowa's 2nd District blue, added a confession to her now archived website where she declared her privilege as a white, cisgender, able-bodied, middle class. So she had all the normal things going for her. She's a woman who didn't have any disabilities, middle class, college educated, female, who happened to be white. She won her primary on Tuesday and will challenge Republican candidate, former state rep Joe Mitchell. So, don't you love it? Again, she said, I am a white, cisgen, able-bodied, middle-class, college-educated woman. There is no doubt that I have worked hard to get where I am in my life, but I also had to benefit greatly from the privilege. My personal journey of self-examination as it relates to my own privilege has not been perfect. But I'm committed to doing the hard work of honest reflection, considering critical feedback when given, and working every day to better myself. James also expressed her support for Black Lives Matter. Of course she did. Stated that she was on a journey toward equity and inclusion. Sure she did. Or I should say, that one I should say, of course she did. As the BLM riots escalated across the U.S., she also replied to a video of George Floyd called on the people to vote on behalf of those who can't. So we want us to vote on dead people? Is that what it is? As Pride Month is winding down, how's that? We're only 4 days into it. 5 days, 6 days, whatever. BLM protests fight on in the streets. James wrote on Facebook on this was June 30th, 2020. This month has served as a daily reminder that our call to equity and inclusion is ongoing. You know what? Keep it up, lady. You're doing a great job. Joe Mazzini, your host. God bless, guys. Have a great rest of the day. Don't do anything stupid. I want you back here with me tomorrow.